Hey everyone, this is Darren, also known as Bombadil from No Guts No Galaxy, and I'd like to welcome you to the MechWarrior Online Dev Vlog number 10. This is our chance to get to know the devs and hear directly from them on the past, present, and future of MWO. In this episode, we'll get some information on the conceptualization and development of the upcoming new swamp map, and get some sneak peeks at the newest battle mechs coming to MechWarrior Online. Let's jump right in with an interview with Dennis, art director at Piranha Games. Dennis, what was the inspiration for the new map called Viridian Bog?
Well, we wanted a map that was a lush tropical forest. Everything else is either desert, whether it be very hot desert or even a cold desert. I mean, Frozen City, you can almost say it's a desert in a way. And wanted something that was not as open as many of the other desert style maps. We wanted something that was more crowded, kind of like metropolitan style maps, except completely forested. And now, obviously, Forest Colony is in the name has forest, but it's hardly a forest. It's more of a shoreline, and we really wanted to get something that's far more dense, and although big, at the same time, it has a sense of claustrophobic feeling to it.
In terms of gameplay, what were you trying to achieve with the design of this map?
Wanted a lot of areas of corridors, bypasses, secret ways to get around the back. There's a lot of areas in here. It's basically this map has, like 3 different levels to it. There's a main terrace. Basically, the entire map is a giant sinkhole, and there's made up of an upper terrace and a lower basin. And in the lower basin area, which takes up about the lower, third of the map, it has these very large, what I like to affectionately call as umbrella lilies, that are actually taller than an atlas. So when you're under them, you feel like you have a canopy above you. The fog is a little thicker down there. Although people can target you, they can't necessarily see you. And the main area has tons of trees and roots and anything you'd expect to see in a very, very dense jungle. Lots of hanging vines everywhere, bushes and slime and swamp water everywhere. The entire map, there's nowhere where you can get dry feet. It's definitely a foot rot style environment. The third level would be on top of the terraces. Some terraces are accessible by like calcite steps, terrace steps, but most of them are actually only accessible through jump jets. Now that doesn't necessarily give you an advantage, because you're still having to look through a canopy of heavy trees in order to see anything you're shooting at. So you don't know whether your missiles will make contact, for example, because what you have targeted could be behind a giant tree.
Will there be any graphic settings that will enable you to remove obstacles on the map, thereby giving you a line of sight advantage?
No, absolutely not. I know this was up a question on the forums, and I wanted to answer it then, but I thought I'd wait to actually say it with my voice. No, there are most of the things that will get culled because of low-spec machines are very, very small, little bushes and grass. Anything that's maybe, up to mid-thigh of like a commando or something might disappear, or LOD out a little sooner than normal. But otherwise, there'll be no fundamental change in gameplay at all.
Looking to the future, what are some of your thoughts on older maps getting updates?
I would love to. I have a deep desire to go back and basically rebuild. That's probably a big word, but rebuild all the maps almost from the ground up. We've come so far in learning what we can get away with and what we can do with CryEngine. A lot of the earlier maps were done very quickly, but now I think we are seasoned enough to be able to go back and really bring those levels to life, to really bring them to the level of what people expect them to see.
Can you tell us anything about new map design as it pertains to community warfare?
The community warfare maps are obviously designed slightly different in this case, where they're more like they're bi-directional. Essentially, it's attack defend kind of an idea. There's kind of a 2-stage element to the map where you have to infiltrate the, for lack of a better word, inner core, and then have a central target to destroy in order to win the game. The maps are going to be fairly simple in the way that they're not going to be metropolitan. They're going to be much more open world, but they're going to feel kind of the whole feeling, I guess, that we're trying to go for here is akin to storming the beaches of Normandy, where you have landing craft. You're thrown onto a beach, essentially. There are caltrops and other type of anti-area or area denial obstacles to try to keep you back from infiltrating your target. There's an inner core that has to be breached, and meanwhile your enemies are obviously trying to kill you. It's not as simple of a strategy as doing a simple base rush, because if you think that you can just move forward en masse and take over, you're going to die. Your team is going to lose very, very quickly. There has to be a lot of strategy involved. You need to coordinate very well. Your light runners have to do their job. Your brawlers have to do their job. Your LRMs can't just be throwing their missiles into walls. You really have to know you're going to make contact, or you're just not going to win. So, and as far as the defense side, you have the inner sanctum to protect, and when it's breached, obviously things get a little hairy. And although that doesn't necessarily mean that the game is lost at that point, it just depends how long you've been able to keep your offenders off prior to the breach.
And next, here's a quick sneak peek at the 3 newest battle mechs coming to MechWarrior Online on November 18th. First up are a pair of iconic hero mechs from the husband and wife team of Grayson Carlisle and Lori Kalmar Carlisle of the notorious Grey Death Legion mercenary unit. More than just being the mech she was piloting when she first met her future husband as enemies on the battlefield, with 2 ballistic and 4 energy hardpoints, Lori's Pirate's Bane, or LCT PB variant, is also the first ECM-enabled Locust in MWO. And with the very mech that Grayson piloted while he and his commandos drove the bandits that killed his father from Trail 1, Carlisle's Grey Death Shadowhawk SHD GD variant stomps onto the battlefield with 1 ballistic, 4 energy, and 2 missile hardpoints. And finally, for those that purchase the Mistlinks or Koshi collection from the Clan Collection Wave 2, they will be arriving in your mech bays on November 18th, will be available for MC on January 6th, and then for C-Bills on February 3rd. And as always, for more information, stay tuned to MWOmercs.com. And that concludes the MWO Dev Vlog number 10. Be sure to stay tuned for future vlogs, including more information on the development of MechWarrior Online, community spotlights, and the exciting future of the MWO competitive scene. And on behalf of Piranha Games and No Guts No Galaxy, thank you for watching, and until next time, Mech Warriors.